Welcome back everyone to my Arkham horror playthrough series. This is the Innsmouth Conspiracy. This is the third scenario, the In Too Deep. It's the first Mythos Pack expansion released for this deluxe expansion pack. Now before we crack on with playing, I'm going to open up the pack and have a little look at the player cards inside. So let's just separate the player cards from the actual In Too Deep scenario cards, put them to the side. Let's have a quick look. So we have 2 copies of Riot Whistle. It's the asset for 2, and you may take an additional action during your turn, which can only be used to engage, which is going to be pretty interesting. Especially good in Seeker builds, where you can engage enemies, great in multiplayer, I suppose, to help other players out. We also have 2 copies of Righteous Hunt. So this is an event. It's cost 1 XP to put into your deck. Engage. Choose an enemy or 2 locations away. Move 1 location at a time to that enemy's location. Engage it and add blast tokens to the chaos bag equal to the enemy's horror value. Wow, that's really good. So essentially, if there's an enemy far away and you really need to kill it and you don't want to waste turns traveling to the location, especially if enemies in the way or you've got other things you need to do, you can play this card, go straight to where they are, and also you have to add those awesome blast tokens into the chaos bag as well for extra boost in the combat. That's really good. And lastly, 1 copy of Sacred Covenant, which is an asset, costs 2 XP to put into your deck. It has the permanent keyword, 1 per deck. After escape to any location, performs the Reveal Chaos Token step of a skill test, exhaust Sacred Covenant, return any number of blessed tokens revealed during this test to the Chaos Bag, ignore the modifiers for this test. Okay, so you can ignore the modifiers, but you get to return the blessed tokens to the bag, which is handy if you don't need them or there's too many for the skill test, I suppose. That's pretty cool. Very good in System Mary deck with the lots of blessed tokens. Okay, onto the Seeker cards. So we have the Eldritch Sophist, which is an asset for 4. Uses 3 secrets, has 1 health, 3 sanity. Exhaust this card, move 1 secret or charge from an asset you control to another asset controlled by Investigator at your location. Okay, so you can move assets and charges around. So you can move secrets and charges around from different assets, different Investigators. So that's a really cool idea. Especially if someone really needs to use one, I suppose. So they've got someone running out of charges and you want to give them something to charge from one of your card, or you've got a card that you don't really use, maybe like Flashlight or something that you don't really need anymore. You can put charges from that onto one of their cards, it'll help them out a little bit. That's a pretty nice card, especially in multiplayer. Okay, next we have 2 copies of Stirring Up Trouble. This is an event, costs 1 XP to put into your deck, costs 0. As additional cost to play Stirring Up Trouble, add curse tokens to the chaos bag equal to location's shroud value. Discover 2 clues at your location. So you'll get that slight annoying thing of adding the curse tokens into the bag, but for 0, it's basically 2 clues for 3, which is just a really good card to have if you're okay with the risk of the curse tokens. And lastly, Blasphemous Covenant, which costs 2 XP to play. It's an asset, it's another permanent. Investigate your location reveals a curse token during a skill test. Exhaust Blasphemous Covenant. Treat that token's modifier as +1 instead of its normal modifier. After this test ends, return it back to the chaos bag. Okay, so if they do resolve all the nasty curse tokens, you can exhaust this and treat it as a +1 rather than a -2, but it goes back into the bag, which is still pretty good, I suppose. On to the rogue class cards now. So we have Breaking and Entering, an event for 2. Investigate. Add your evade value to your skill test. If you succeed by 2 or more, you may automatically evade an enemy at this location. This action does not attacks opportunities. This is really good, especially in my Triss deck, because with her skills you can basically evade and gain clues really easily with her skills. So we can investigate, add a massive evade value to our skill test for the investigation. And then if you succeed by 2 or more, we also get to automatically evade an enemy at the location, which is a really good card. I'm going to put that on my deck, I think, after this. So next we have 2 copies of Skeptic, which costs 1 XP. It's a skill card. During the skill test, treat the modifier of each bless and each curse token as +1 instead of no modifier. So if you've got a lot of bless tokens in the bag, this isn't that great. But if you find at one point you've got a lot of curse tokens, this will help you out and give them all +1 instead of -2, which is pretty cool. Okay, so there's a theme here with the Covenant cards. Each class has got its own Covenants, which is pretty cool. This is the False Covenant. Permanent, 1 per deck. When investigating your location reveals a curse token during a skill test, exhaust False Covenant. Cancel that chaos token, return it to the token pool, and reveal another token. So, much like the other ones, when you're doing a test, you can cancel out the curse token. The curse tokens are quite annoying, they do slow you down quite a lot, so having that in this kind of a game is going to be really fun. I like the name of this card already, Armageddon, that's pretty cool. I like the picture too. Asset, cost 4, it's quite high. Use 3 charges. Spend 1 charge, fight. This attack uses willpower instead of strength and deals +1 damage. If a curse token is revealed during the attack, you may deal 1 damage to an enemy or location or place 1 charge on Armageddon. So this is going to really play well if you have a lot of curse tokens in the bag. If obviously you succeed. I mean, if you do pull a curse token and you don't succeed, you'll do 1 damage as well, based off the fight alone, +1 damage for the second effect. So it's a really good card, actually, especially in combat. That's really good. Okay, Eye of Chaos. This is an asset. Costs a whopping 5, which is quite a lot. Use these 3 charges. Spend 1 charge. Investigate. Investigate using willpower instead of intellect. If you succeed, discover 1 additional clue at its location. If a curse token is revealed during this investigation, you may discover 1 clue at the connecting location or place 1 charge on Eye of Chaos. That and Armageddon work really well, especially with Dexter Drake. You can really use the blessed spots of the curse tokens to your advantage. Okay, we have Shroud of Shadows, which is a asset, costs 3. Use charges again, spend 1 charge, evade. There's another theme going on here with these cards. So evade, this evasion attempt uses willpower instead of evade. If you succeed and the evaded enemy is non-elite, you may move that enemy to its location. If a curse token is revealed during this evasion attempt, you may move to the next location and place 1 charge on Shroud of Shadows. These are really going to be handy in Dexter Drake's deck, especially with his ability to change assets around and put assets out. And you know, when a card runs out of charges, you can take it back to your hand and play another one out. So this is going really great. I'm definitely going to make a Dexter Drake deck. I've seen these cards. I'm really excited for that. Another Covenant, for a surprise. So Permanent, 1 on deck. Investigate 2 location forms that reveal chaos token step of a skill test. If both a blessed token and a curse token are revealed during this test, exhaust Paradoxical Covenant, the test automatically succeeds. Okay, so it's pretty hard to get both a blessed and a curse token, but to succeed at a test, no matter what it is, if you can get a bag loaded up with blessed and curse tokens, you'll play a multiplayer game with Dexter Drake and maybe Sister Mary. There's a good chance you're going to get a blessed and a curse token, so that's going to be a really good card if you're going to play 2-player. And lastly, the Survivor class. So we have Marina's Compass. Exhaust the compass to investigate. If you succeed and have no resources in your resource pool, discover an additional clue at your location. That's a really great card, I like that. And as a free response during investigation using Marina's Compass, spend 1 resource. You get +1 intellect for the skill test, limit 3 times per investigation. This is a really great card, especially for Silas Marsh. Has real low intellect. This is going to help boost up his intellect stats. And also, if you have no resources and you succeed, get extra clues. So I really like the idea of that card. Great in the Survivor class. And lastly, of course, another Covenant. This time the Ancient Covenant. So permanent, 1 per deck. Investigate a location resolves a blessed token during a skill test. Exhaust Ancient Covenant. Do not reveal another token as part of this blessed token's effect. So as you know, when you reveal a blessed token or a curse token, you add the modifier, take it out of the chaos bag, and reveal a separate another chaos token. With this though, you're getting a +2, and that's it. Test over, you get a +2, and that's it, which is usually more than you're going to need anyway. So some really good player cards in there. Once I play for this scenario, I'm going to put them into my deck. I'm also playing a Silas Marsh, which I'm going to do a playthrough at some point of another campaign. And with that out of the way, let's crack on with the In Too Deep campaign playthrough. And here we are in the In Too Deep scenario. Okay, first thoughts are, wow, there's a lot of locations, and what the hell are these in between? So these are barriers. I'll read through the campaign information, and then we'll discuss what's actually going on in this scenario, because it looks quite confusing. So this reads, Scenario 3, In Too Deep. The sea rises steadily as you make your way along the coast towards the town of Innsmouth. The sun and moon align over a distant horizon, threatening a grim, uncertain future. Remember the layout of the town and several strange faces you met during the first few days there, but nothing that transpired between then and waking up in the waterlogged pit. Agent Harper has been trying to fill you in, but with so many gaps in your memory, each explanation you only perplexes you further. Ever since you came to Innsmouth, things have gotten worse. It began with the locals. Each day they got rowdier and more hostile, especially to outsiders like you and me. Do you remember how nauseating some of them looked? Slimy, greyish skin, wide lips, bulging eyes, that sort of thing. You nod. Now you remembered, you almost wish you hadn't. It wasn't just the way they looked either. Their hoarse voices croak syllables barely resembling human speech, and they reek of rotten fish. They're the ones who've been stirring up trouble recently, and that's not all. There are other creatures skulking around Innsmouth of late. I'm sure you've seen them too. She shudders. Some kind of connection between the historic order of Dagon and those things. Not sure what yet, but we'll get to the bottom of it. Agent Harper's voice trails off as she climbs to the top of the headland. Whoever has her staring agape can't be good. We reach the top, we hold yourself over the ridge, and see the same devastation she does. Innsmouth has been invaded. The same creatures you encountered in that sacrificial pit prowl the streets. Foul things from the depths of the sea or perhaps beyond. They patrol the alleys and intersections, searching for something, hunting. Makeshift barriers block the various pathways through the town as the water from the Manuix River spills out into the streets. No, this can't be, Agent Harper intones. Moat and silence, gloom hangs between you. It is clear that Innsmouth is no longer safe. You inform Agent Harper that Agent Dawson left his vehicle near hers at the abandoned railway station in the western edge of Innsmouth. She nods, understanding. Right, we've got to get to the side of town, and fast. The sky above you is bathed in hues of violent crimson. With any luck, no more of that colour was spilled today. So, we have to escape Innsmouth, get to a car and get out of here because this town is flooded, full of monsters and we've got to escape. So, these are barriers. We can move these certain effects on the cards, or certain effects that come up. These are flood tokens, so these locations are partially flooded. Which we'll come and play later. Let's read the Act and Agenda card as well. So, the Act reads, Through the Labyrinth. Inhuman creatures patrol the streets of Innsmouth, hunting for you and more of your kind. You must make your way to the other side of town and escape. Perhaps more of your memories can be recovered if you explore town Innsmouth further. So as a free action, we can spend one clue. Well, spend 1 + 1 clue as a group, so we've got to spend 2 clues as a free action. We can move a barrier between your location, get to the location. Objective, get to the railway station. If each surviving investigator has resigned, advance. So, basically going to make our way to the railway station, which is right at the end of the corner. We are right down here. We've got to gradually break our way through. So it's kind of like a weird sort of game here because I assume the less barrier tokens there are, the faster the connection. So obviously it makes sense for me to move to there, maybe there, there, possibly there. I don't know. It's quite hard actually. We've got a black key because one of the hideouts was the Order of Dagon on location up here. They've also got key tokens face down, so maybe some locations can be blocked off. I'm not sure yet. The agenda, a barricaded streets, has a quote from Shadow of Innsmouth. In a second, all my plans were utterly changed. For if the southward highway blocked ahead of me, I must clearly find another egress from Innsmouth. Each suspect enemy loses aloof and cannot be parleyed with. When your turn ends, if you are fully location, take 1 damage. Okay. So, the exception of Joyce Little Robert Friendly, all suspect enemies are of blood from the previous campaign. We have to take them, do the revelation effect, which is for each one. So, Barnabas Marsh at the Marsh Refinery with a clue on him. They all lose aloof and can be parleyed with. Brian Burnham at the First National Grocery. 1 clue on him. Athera Gilman at the Gilman House, which is down here. 1 clue on her. Zodak Allen at the Fish Street Bridge, sorry, just over here with 1 clue. And with that out of the way, we must continue. So I've got to spend 2 clues as a group with a barrier. Okay. So obviously the only place I can really move is straight up onto the Innsmouth Harbour. So I made a few changes to the deck, but nothing with the new cards yet, so we've drawn cards. So I put in Segment of Onyx, so we can set them aside and get the Pendant of the Queen House, which is going really good for our deck. Working a hunch is good, we can just discover a clue location. And Sign Revelation, so we can use it to gain 2 resources to play Secret Assets of Control, which can be really handy in the deck. So first of all though, we're going to use our really high intellect to investigate this location. So straight away we will get -2. We're okay, broke even. We got a clue. I'll move that along there, so space for my assets. We're also going to use a dice for our resources, sorry, because I've got a lot of tokens left. I'm going to play Encyclopedia. We can exhaust that to choose escape location and get +2 to any skill we want, which will help us out. And then lastly, we're going to move to this location here. So Innsmouth Harbour. Enter this location, move to the house on Water Street. And I can't parlay here for 2 actions, move 1 barrier between this location, get to location. So I can't move 1 barrier from here to there, okay? So you have to immediately move to the house on Water Street. So after location revealed, randomly choose one of the set aside face down keys and place it on this location without looking at it. And I can choose and discard 1 card from my hand to parlay from a barrier to location, get to location. So it seems that each location has like a nice little effect to move barriers. So obviously with the keys, when the clues have all gone from a location, you can collect the key. So we are up here. Okay, end of our go. Enemies don't have Hunter, so that's on resource, draw a card, might even matter. Place a card on the agenda and draw a counter card. Okay, Riptide. If your location is unflooded, it gains Surge. Otherwise, test Agility, or 4 locations fully flooded. If you fail, it's got an asset you control. If you cannot, lose 1 resource, which point you cannot fail. So we are partially flooded, so test Agility 3. So what we're going to do is we're going to commit Dexterity, just in case. Just get draw a card for successful. +1, more than enough, and draw a card. Think on your feet, it's going to be handy. Okay, so we're just going to build up our clues and move along. We could move along faster, but I've got a feeling I'm going to get to there and I'm going to need keys, so I've got to be careful here. I've got a feeling I'm going to need some keys here, so we'll investigate here first and collect that first key. So 0, which is fine. Also means we have to take the key, and we have the yellow key. Put that down there. We can discard a card from our hand to move to the next location. Actually, we're going to, let's see. We could, I don't want to do that because I don't want to go there. So we're going to investigate it, we're going to move, and we're going to investigate again, just to get some more clues up. So can you spend clues to move barriers as well? So we're going to get as many clues as we can. The locations where the shrouds are quite low, just to help us out a little bit. Skull, -1 for each location to the east of your location on the same row. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a lot. Okay, I failed that test. I don't think I was going to fail that test. That's bad. Okay, that's the end of our go. So we're getting a resource, draw a card, cat burglar, do one on the agenda, card, undertow. If the location is unflooded, it gains Surge. Otherwise, point to play in your threat area. After you move, take 2 damage and 2 horror, discard this card, or discard a card from your hand and test strength for agility to fight the pull of the tide. So if you succeed, discard it. So we are going to discard a card from my hand and test that because I don't want that there. So we're going to discard, let's see, we'll discard cat burglar. We'll also test 3. We'll play Think on Your Feet. Actually, we'll use Encyclopedia. Get +2 to skill to end of the phase. Give us 6 on there, just help us out. Discard this card, and we got -2, more than enough. That's that gone. I'm going to play Segment of Segment of Onyx, sorry. We're also going to. I only need 4 clues for this though, so I can't really go this way. I need to spend 4 to get past. Let's just move. Oh no. Let's investigate this place again. Our design is this investigation. You may choose any location. Investigate this location instead. No, that's fine. I just take the +2 and take the clue. So 3 clues. 2 more actions left. I'm going to play. I'm just going to draw a card. So easy mark. As mirrored again, so 3 copies. Gains 3 resources and draw a card. After you play easy mark, play another easy mark from your hand at no cost. That's a good card to have to save up. End of the round, gain a resource and draw a card. Do one on the agenda. Counter card. Trinal alignment. So choose a location where there's at least one investigator. Increase the location's flood level. Each investigator at this location takes 1 damage. If the chosen location's flood level is not increased by this effect, it gains surge. So increase that to fully flooded, and I take 1 damage. So let's put that on there. There we go. Resources that. So now it's time for our go. So we're going to make a move for it. So we're going to spend 2 clues to get rid of a barrier. We're going to move to this location, which flips over obviously. So he gets +1 shower for each barrier between it and any connecting location. I can add 2 curse tokens to the chaos bag, parlay, move a barrier to this location, connecting location. Okay. So we've got an enemy there. It's going to engage with us now. He's got 5 health, so to kill him is going to be really hard. So I'm just going to evade. He's only got 2 evade. So we're going to evade this guy. What's this? -2. 2 is fine. No, it failed. That's okay. So he's evaded. That's so. Put a clue on there. I've got 1 more action left. I'm going to investigate. -1. It's okay. Gained a clue. Making some progress. So end of our go. He readies up. He's engaged, but it's an attack. We need to draw a card. Flashlight. Come in handy earlier. Need to gain a resource. So we've got 7 resources. Doing on the agenda. It's on 4 out of 6. Counter card, Dreams of Riley. Opponents playing your threat area, you get -1 willpower, -1 sanity. Test 3 willpower. If you succeed, discard Dreams of Riley. So I kind of want that gone, but I've got no way of actually exceeding at that unless I use Encyclopedia. I'm going to use Encyclopedia because that's going to really slow me down. I've only got 6 sanity. Give me, so I've got, I can't do that, I have to leave that there, unfortunately. Okay, so I'm going to have to evade this guy again. So I'm going to have to evade again to get past this stupid guy. I can't quite kill him. 0 is enough. He's evaded. Spend 2 clues as a free action to remove a barrier to the inside square. I'm going to add 2 of the curse tokens to the chaos bag, like so, to remove a barrier to this location and affect the location. And then for the last action, we're going to move to the Innsmouth square. We're almost halfway. So forced after it's revealed, spawn the set aside Innsmouth Shoggoth enemy in this location exhausted. Oh, that's not good. That ain't good. Doesn't sound great. That is this guy, this big beast. Okay, so he is a monster Shoggoth elite hunter and massive. Gets +2 health for investigator. When Innsmouth Shoggoth moves for its hunter keyword, it ignores all barriers. After it moves, remove each barrier it moved through. Okay, so it's kind of helpful, I suppose. It's exhausted, so it's not too bad. So I can parlay, move 1 barrier between this location and its location, so it's between this location, different its location. So I can move a barrier from there to maybe there. If I control 2 more keys as a group, parlay, read flashback 5. I don't, so I should be there. So I evaded, I did that, and I moved. Okay, end of our go. So ready up, ready up. He's engaged with us right now, so but he was exhausted. Gain a resource. Here's to draw a card. Dr. Mill and Christopher. Good card for investigating. Doing the agenda, that's on 5, and finally the encounter card is Furtive Locals. So test 3 intellect. If you succeed, take 1 damage, or put this card into player's agenda deck. If you fail, do both. You cannot parlay. So test 3 intellect. I'm going to use let's see. I use Encyclopedia +2. I don't want to fail this test, that's why. I want it gone. +1, that's enough, that's gone, that's fine, we survived that. So we're going to evade this guy first. We're going to evade, so we need to really get down there. Okay, so we're going to evade, parlay, and move. Okay? So, first of all, we're going to evade. 0 is evaded. We're going to parlay, put this barrier up here instead, and move down to and open this location up. So I can spend 3 resources and parlay, move on barrier to this location. If you control the black key, parlay, and be flashback 7. Sorry, 8, my bad. Okay, so we're going to put that there. And that's our go. Oh, so we've done that. That's our go over. So he readies up. He's going to start moving now that he is because I can't quite evade him. So we're going to resource and draw a card. It's backstab, use agility or strength, deals 2 damage. The agenda now advances, unfortunately. Sorry to say. It's going to advance. So let's see what nastiness is in store for us. The tide creeps in as you make your way through the decrepit streets. You hear the blood-curdling cries of someone in agony up ahead. The moment you see the creatures patrolling the intersection, you hide the broken down doorway of a ruined building. The unusual gaze croaking voices send shivers through your body, even as the slapping of their webbed feet against the road fades in the distance. You could not escape the feeling that, inevitably, they will find you. Cruise for the level of each coastal location. That's fully flooded. That's flooded. At each coastal location, or some more there, so I'm going to have to increase those. So that's coastal. That's coastal. I think that's it for coastal locations. And we also have shuffle a set aside Ravager from the deep and deep jump one enemy into counter deck along with the counter discard pile. So Agenda 2 reads, it had not yet seen me, but it was simply obeying a general plan of cutting off my escape. This, however, implied that all roads leading out to Innsmouth were similarly patrolled. So again, each suspect enemy was a loop coming parallel with. When your turn ends, you fully locations hit on damage 1 horror. Let's add the enemies to the deck. That's them. Let's play Dr. Milan for some boost of intellect. Investigate. I can't get past him though, this is getting quite tricky now. He's going to move to me then, let's go. We need to spend 9 resources to go past this, so we're going to spend 3 actions to do this. It's going to be quite tricky, so we might have to do that. So, we've only got 7 though. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to play Easy Mark to gain 2 resources and draw a card. 9. Magnifying Glass. We're going to play Magnifying Glass because it's really helpful. That's got the fast keyword. And then we're also going to last action, spend 3 resources, with a barrier from there. End of our go. Enemy phase, he moves. He's going to attack now, so we take 2 damage and 2 horror, unfortunately. And then we draw a card, gain a resource into the shadows. It's going to be helpful. Play after your turn begins. Discard each enemy engage with you. Send the round. It cannot engage you and count the damage to enemies. Okay, that could be helpful actually. That's a pretty good draw. Do on the agenda. Counter card. Dreams of Valor. That's really affecting my sanity now. So I've only got 4 sanity. I can't take 1 more hit from him. I'm going to die. We're going to play in the shadows. Disengage. We're going to move up here at the fast keyword, and then we're also going to, let's see, it's the end of the round, they cannot engage you, cannot damage, so it should be safe from that. I'm going to parlay twice, move them, and at the go, he moves but he cannot engage, so we're safe currently. Draw a card and a flashlight, more resources, we've got 12 resources now. 4, 5, 6, 7, got discard a card. We will discard another flashlight. We've got 2. Do on the agenda. Draw a card. Not enemies. Spawn location of most clues. We're just spawning down here as Hunter. I can't poly enemies. Oh, that's just for enemies. Okay, that's pretty annoying. I can poly to exhaust him, but it's not a trigger if he's at upkeep phase, but he's okay down there. Our go, so we're going to have to evade this guy. We are going to, let's see, We'll exhaust Encyclopedia for extra evade points. Oh, this is really hard. Evade, -2, that's enough. He's evaded. Then I'm going to move to here. Let's see what annoying thing this is. Forced location from location. Place some barrier between both locations. So a barrier goes there. Test your lowest skill. If you succeed, move on barrier for location and get a location. So we've got test strength or willpower. I'm going to have to evade Brian Burnham. I could try and move up. That could work. So we have evaded, moved, and to evade again just to survive. But he's got 5 evade. That's a lot of evasion. I can't really handle that, really. I could use backstab and probably kill him. That could work. So we're going to do that. We're going to use agility instead of strength. Deals 2 damage anyway. So we've only got 1 health left. And then we're also going to commit Think on Your Feet. Just for extra boosts. So we have a massive amount of skill. So if you just see this, we've killed Brian Burnham. -2. He is dead. I assume the clue disappears. I'm not really sure how that works, so I want to elaborate. So we have evaded, moved, and killed him. Hour goes over. This readies up. This guy moves. Gain a resource. Draw a card. Shadow agents. Oh, that's annoying. Prey, hunter. As engaged with you can't discover clues except by investigating. After it's evaded, discard it. Sucks. Okay, so this guy's here with us. That's going to be really annoying. Doing the agenda. Encounter card. So, effective locals, test. Sorry, she exhausted. Test. Intellect 3. Scored an art on damage. Okay, right. So, intellect. We can't really boost that up. I want to save that for the shadow agents. So, I'm going to test 3 against 4. Should be okay. Yes, thank God for that. That's that gone. Okay, and our go. We need to evade this, get rid of this. So we're going to exhaust Encyclopedia. Let's give ourselves plus. So we've got 6 evade. 6 against 5. This could be quite tricky. Oh yes, I'll design. Okay, so it's discarded when it's evaded. It's not investigation. So 2 clues on there, my bad. So we've evaded. We can just parlay once, we can go up there. Test lowest skill. Our lowest skill, let's say strength. So we're going to use against 2. So we're going to use manifest matter, get +1 to our strength, and try and investigate. There we go. Oh yes, that's it. So move that and that location down there maybe. So we've evaded, parlayed, and we're going to move up to here now. So this flips over. After it's revealed, randomly choose one of the set aside face down keys and place this location without looking at it. Okay. And I can test 3 if succeed. Move by location, text location. So, I mean, I could have gone that way, but I'm going to go that 4 times now. But the problem is he's going to follow me. So, black key's there. 1 face down key. And 1 clue. Hour goes over. These guys both move. Okay. Draw a card. Gain a resource. Cryptographic cipher. Do on the agenda. Encounter card. Lurking deep one. After engagement, take 1 damage. That's annoying. So we are really struggling right now to get past all these. Now all I can do is try and evade this and move to there and sort of circle around on myself. What we're going to do though, we're going to maybe investigate and use our skill to help us out. So we've got +1 because of this. We're going to commit flashlight to the skill. So we have 5 and maybe revelation. So 6, we're going to investigate. I'll design again. You may choose any review location, investigate locations if you're there instead. This is... No, we'll just stay there. So we'll gain a clue. We'll use her skill to evade the enemy, because we've gained a clue. And then we're also going to gain both of these keys. So we have the white key and the black key. And we're going to move back to the New Church Green. Application is revealed. Choose one set aside face down keys. Place the location without looking at it. So one of the keys on there. It has one clue. If I know whose location, parlay, move on barrier to this location, gets the location. Okay. So we are here now. So we've gained a clue. We've moved. We're going to gain another clue, I think. We need to get around. My plan is here to loop back on myself and get back up to there around the enemies. This is hard. So last effect now, we're just going to gain a clue. So we're going to investigate again. Auto fail token. That ain't good. Round over. So ready's up. They move up there. Gain a resource. I draw a card. Easy mark. Should have saved that other one, but never mind. On the agenda, encounter card. Okay, so this is one of new enemies. So, as Hunter enters the play and exhausted and engaged, the location is fully flooded. When it engages you, if it's flooded, it attacks you. So, luckily, because the location isn't flooded, it's unengaged and exhausted. So, our go, we are going to investigate again with 5. -1, we're okay. So we did that. We gained a clue. We also gained this key, and because we gained a clue, enemy there. Oh no, we'll leave that. We're fine. Then we're gonna. So we've investigated. We're gonna move. Investigate again. We're gonna exhaust encyclopedia. We're gonna play. Revelation for an extra boost, just in case. Should be more than enough. 0. Yep, we're safe. So another clue. And then lastly, we're going to move once more. Now we control the black key. So we can't parlay because we've got no more actions, sorry. So our goes over. So draw a card, Segment of Onyx. Get one more, be okay. No dice. I've got like so many resources. So I can't really afford to play anything because I'm engaged enemies all the time. Ready up them. He readies up. These 2 hasn't got a hunter. They move to there. The agenda now advances. This is getting quite tricky. What's this say? Something horrible, I assume. A crowd gathers in the town square. At first you relieve see faces not bearing hideous, monstrous features. Prodigious, bulging eyes, wide jaws full of sharp, jagged teeth, the gills, fins, and webbings that suggest something fish-like and inhuman. Then you hear one voice rise above the din, and your heart turns to ice. The time is nigh. The order of Dagon commands you. Slay the outsiders and any who stand in our way, and you should be rewarded. You should be remade and share the riches of the deep. A rogue man shouts. The crowd rejoices in jubilant madness. Increase the flood level of each mid-town location. Right, okay, so what's mid-town? That's this one here, this one here, this one here. They're all mid-town as well. Oh, so everything but the far right ones. Far left, sorry. That's there, 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 and there. Oh my god. This is getting quite tricky. What else does it say? Oh, spawn the set-aside angry mob at Innsmouth Square. Everyone's playing Matches of Madness, the Innsmouth scenario, and now this angry mob is the right pain in the ass. Choose one of the set-aside face-down keys, place the angry mob without looking at it. So angry mob is there. This is exactly the same. If you flip a location, take one down to one horror. So angry mob is here. So is it our location? Innsmouth Square. Oh, we just missed this enemy. We just missed it. Oh, just 1 damage though, it's not too bad. Hunter, massive retaliates, gets +4 health, coming attacks opportunity, so we have an angry mob now chasing us. This is getting insane. Encounter card. Inundated. Place one barrier between this location, and each gets a location with no barriers between them. If no barriers are placed, first effect, Inundated gains Surge. So I assume it means there and there. Okay, I will go. So we need one more clue. We can sort of get past that way, but I need 3 to get past there. It's a lot. Okay. Need one more action, really. This guy's going to engage his next go, which is going to suck. So what we're going to have to do is we can play Segment of Onk because it's got the fast keyword. Need one more to get our card out. We're going to play Working a Hunch. Discover a clue at the location. Gained a clue. We're going to spend 2 clues to remove 2 barriers. We're going to spend 3 resources to parlay remove a barrier. So that's only 1 action we've used because of the fast keyword and there are 3 actions. We're going to move to the Gilman house, which is partially flooded. After it's revealed, choose one of the set aside face down keys, place the location while looking at it. Okay, so that's there. We also have 2 clues. So this is a bit easier. We can just test strength or agility, move a barrier for location against the location, so that's not too bad. So if we want, that's 1 action. Second action, we are going to evade this guy, definitely. So we'll just help us out. We're going to use Encyclopedia to boost that up. So we're going to evade Athera Gilman. Skulls, that's to the east, 1, 2, that's fine. We've evaded here. So it should be there. And we're also going to test agility 2 to move a barrier from location to location. Just get to there, we might be sort of safe. So -1. We're okay. A barrier's gone. Can't really afford to get the keys, unfortunately, so that's how I'll go over. These move, all being chased by a mob. 2 Innsmouth enemies, a Shoggoth, and a deep one. Great, this guy isn't engaged. Gender on there. Counter card. Same one. Place a barrier to location and gets location. So that one means 1 behind us and 1 above us, which is there. Okay, I will go. It's there. Got to draw a card, my bad. Hyper awareness. We're going to play Easy Mark to gain resources and draw a card. It's a handy card to have. Elena Harper, where the hell were you ages ago? You've been helpful. Okay, so this is a good story asset. So first of all, we're going to evade this guy. So we're going to use Encyclopedia to help us out. Come on, evade. 0. Oh, yes. That's evaded. And then we can freely move over to here. We can test 1 parlay. If we succeed, we can buy this location, connect to location. If we control all 7 keys, read flashback 5 in the campaign guide. Unfortunately, I'm playing solo. It's my very first time playing this scenario, and this very first time I've even looked at it, so I can't really afford to spend time doing that kind of stuff. So move to there. So we've done that. So evaded, moved, and we're just going to, let's see, we're going to play Elena Harper, just to help us out a little bit with our evading skills. So we'll put the app there, put that there, there we go. Evaded, moved, played, I'll go over, so he readies. The mob is getting close on our tail. And all these enemies here are down here. Draw a card, gain a research, gain a resource. Do on the agenda. Encounter card, young deep one, prey, hunter. After it engages you, take 1 horror. That's not fun. I've got 1 health, sorry, 1 sanity remaining. I am literally hanging on by a thread. Actually, I put 1 horror Elena Harper. Thank God for that. So now we're going to evade. Luckily, we have 5 evade because of her. So we're going to evade, move, and hopefully move again. So -1, which is more than enough. This guy is evaded. We're then going to move up. This reads, so we can draw a card in the encounter deck and parlay move by this occasion gets on location. We don't need to do that, so move there. Clue on that. Finally, we are going to move to the middle of the station. Forced, defenseless location. If it is flooded, test 2 to damage. No, we haven't. So we just need to resign there, and then we have done, and we have won the game. So if we can survive this round, we should be okay. So end of the round, that readies up. That moves to there. They all move to there. Doing the agenda. Encounter card. Hopefully they don't lose any. Draw a card, sorry. 7 at Onyx. Rise to the last round. Could have done that earlier. Draw a card. Rising Tides. Increase flood level of this location. That has flood level increased. If the location's flood level is increased, this gains Surge. With this one, which is more than enough. We can resign now. We've made the station. I mean, we could have done more story aspects and gone around, but triggering that Innsmouth Sogoth enemy was just too much to really bear. I couldn't really hang on. Getting 2 of the Dreams of Valor treachery cards was too much as well. So back of the act card reads, after hours of sneaking and hiding, you finally reach the abandoned railway station on the western edge of Innsmouth. The moment you see the 2 automobiles parked by the tracks, you break into a run. You're more than happy to leave this awful place behind. In your campaign log, record investigators have made it safely to their vehicles. Resolution 1. Okay, so Resolution 1 reads, you rush to safety, elated to be free of the hellish ordeal. But as you reach the vehicles, uncertainty swims in your mind. When you turn to face Agent Harper, she instantly recognises your expression. You understand now that you were hired to rescue her, and that something went awry. You and Agent Dawson were captured, and you were sacrificed to that thing in the Tower Caverns. Now you, Agent Harper, are safe and free to return to Boston, and yet, you can't just leave, she says aloud what you were thinking. Her brows are knit in frustration. I mean, look at all this, the devastation, these creatures. She motions to what remains of the flooded town of Innsmouth. You have to figure out what's really going on here, or she trails off. You understand her meaning. The tide is rising quickly here. It can happen anywhere along the eastern seaboard. Arkham, Boston, no city is safe. Worse yet, nobody believes to tell a tale until it was too late. Wherever these creatures are, they're scheming something that could put the entire wheel in jeopardy. You cannot allow it to happen. Don't suppose you have Agent Dawson's key, do you? Harper asks. You can imagine you would. Yet when you check your belongings, you find a polished silver key among them. Dawson must have given it to you before his untimely end. You try the key on the driver's side door of the automobile, and it turns with an audible click. Wow, just look at that. Eager to be away, starts a car. With the engine shuddering ignition, your mind reveals a sudden pain. A bright spot, like the incandescent sun, flares over your sight. Okay, so, where to now, she asks. Your belly was versed to her words. The blinding flare grows larger and brighter. The rumbling of the engine drowns out all other sound. The world spins. You fall to the ground, clutching your temples. Your entire head is on fire. You can hear Harper calling to you, but her voice is muffled, like she's deep somewhere, underwater, or perhaps you are. Your vision fades. All that's left is the roaring of the engine and the crashing of tumultuous sea waves. And then, so we get our experience. We do not spend the experience yet until the expansion tells us to. Check the campaign log. It made it safer to our vehicles. Each investigator records 2 additional experience and unspent experience. Proceed to scenario 4, Devil Reef, which is going to be really cool. The vehicle asset cards. And that's it for this playthrough. It was a struggle, and I think I could have done better with the keys and the flashbacks, but that was my very first time playing this scenario. So you literally just go straight from the pack, put it onto the board, and play it just as I've seen it. So whether it's new to me or new to you as well. Any comments, any questions, anything you want to see about the gameplay, about the deck, about the cards, the Intel Conspiracy, the upcoming packs you want to see, let me know. Any more Arkham Horror playthroughs, campaign, investigator guides, any card reveals, any deck building tips you want to go through, I'll happily do that. Let me know in the comments below. Leave a like and subscribe, I'd appreciate that, and thanks for watching.